when Beyonce was 3, I took her to the Triumph tour with Michael Jackson and his brothers.
Wow.
And my friend said, well, if you go to this certain area at the Astrodome, he's going to come out that way. So I had her out there. It was a group of about 20 people. He walks over, tries to grab her. And she loved him so much. She was just overwhelmed, as kids do, and she just started crying, and she wouldn't go to him. But what are the odds of that?
Wow.
And she said then, I'm gonna be like Michael Jackson. And I was like, yeah, okay.
Look at her now.
Look at her now. And I just think that that's how fate and God work.
What if one of the biggest secrets in music wasn't hidden inside a vault, but inside one of the most famous families in the world? For years, conspiracy theories have followed Beyoncé everywhere. People have questioned her age, her rise to fame, and even the carefully protected image surrounding the Knowles family. Most of those rumors eventually disappear, but one theory refuses to die: the claim that Solange isn't Beyoncé's younger sister at all. The rumor has been floating around Hollywood for decades, but lately it's resurfaced with new life after people began pointing to comments from Wendy Williams, old interviews, and even details surrounding Tina Knowles' divorce from Richard Lawson. Whether there's any truth to it is another question entirely, but once people start connecting the dots, it's easy to understand why the internet keeps revisiting the story. One of the biggest reasons is Richard Lawson. Most people know him as Tina Knowles' former husband, but their relationship goes back much further than their marriage. The two were friends for decades before eventually getting married in 2015. Because of that history, Richard wasn't viewed as an outsider. He became part of one of the most private families in entertainment. So, when Tina filed for divorce, many people expected it to be a quiet separation. Instead, one detail from the divorce documents immediately caught everyone's attention: a strict non-disparagement agreement. According to reports surrounding the settlement, both sides agreed not to publicly criticize each other or discuss private family matters. On the surface, that's not unusual. Many celebrity divorces include similar clauses, but online, people immediately started asking the same question. If everything inside the family is exactly as it appears, why make secrecy such a priority? That question sent social media down another rabbit hole. Almost immediately, old rumors involving Beyoncé and Solange began resurfacing. The biggest ones centered around Beyoncé's age. Officially, Beyoncé has always stated she was born in 1981. However, years ago, an alleged birth certificate circulated online claiming she was actually born in 1974. The document was never authenticated. Texas officials later stated it wasn't legitimate. Normally, that would have ended the conversation. Instead, it made people even more curious, because supporters of the theory believed the alleged birth year explained several things they had questioned for years. One of the biggest examples involved Tina Knowles herself. During an interview, Tina recalled taking Beyoncé to see Michael Jackson during the Triumph tour in Houston. She said Beyoncé was 3 years old and became emotional after meeting Michael, later telling her mother that she wanted to become a performer just like him. It sounds like a touching childhood memory. But internet users quickly started doing the math. Michael Jackson's Triumph tour took place in 1981. If Beyoncé had truly been born in 1981, she obviously couldn't have been 3 years old at that concert. Supporters of the theory argue that a 1974 birth year would line up much more closely with Tina's story. Critics respond that memories from decades ago aren't always perfect and shouldn't be treated as historical proof. The debate has continued ever since. Then, another interview added even more fuel. Actress Gabrielle Union once described Beyoncé as someone she'd known since they were teenagers. That comment caught attention because Gabrielle was born several years before Beyoncé's publicly listed birth year. If Beyoncé were really born in 1981, many people questioned how the two could realistically have been teenage friends. Supporters of the rumor saw that as another inconsistency. Others pointed out that celebrities often use the phrase, "since we were teenagers," loosely when talking about long friendships. Still, the internet treated it as another clue. Then came one of the biggest claims of all. Years ago, someone claiming to be a former Columbia Records employee posted allegations online saying that Beyoncé's age had been changed early in her career. According to the anonymous source, several artists connected to Destiny's Child allegedly adjusted their public ages for marketing purposes. The individual even claimed they had seen identification documents showing Beyoncé's birth year as 1974. No evidence was ever produced to verify those claims. Even so, the story spread rapidly across blogs and message boards. Then the rumor took an even more dramatic turn. According to that same anonymous source, the real reason Beyoncé's age was allegedly changed had nothing to do with marketing. They claimed it was connected to Solange. The theory suggests Beyoncé allegedly became pregnant as a teenager and gave birth to Solange years before becoming famous. According to the rumor, the Knowles family supposedly presented Solange as Beyoncé's younger sister to protect her future career. Again, there has never been verified evidence supporting that claim. But once the internet connected the alleged birth certificate, Tina's interview, Gabrielle Union's comments, and the anonymous Columbia Records story, the theory exploded all over again. And for many people, those weren't the only details raising questions. Because once people started looking into Beyoncé's early career, they began noticing even more stories that, in their minds, didn't seem to fit the official timeline, including claims involving Girls' Time, Destiny's Child, and people who say they were there before Beyoncé became the global superstar the world knows today. Then, the rumors became even more elaborate. According to the anonymous former Columbia Records employee, the alleged age change wasn't an isolated decision. The source claimed several artists had their public ages adjusted early in their careers to better fit the image record labels wanted to sell. They alleged Beyoncé was one of them, while saying other members of Destiny's Child also had details of their backgrounds altered for marketing purposes. None of those claims have ever been independently verified. Still, because the source claimed to have worked inside the music industry, the story spread quickly across blogs, forums, and YouTube channels. The same source also pointed to Girls' Time, the group that eventually evolved into Destiny's Child. They argued that some members appeared noticeably older than the official timeline suggested, leading internet detectives to revisit old performances, interviews, and photographs in search of anything that supported the theory. One name that kept coming up was Nikki Taylor. Online researchers pointed out that Nicki's reported birth year appeared older than Beyoncé's publicly listed age, leading some people to question how the group members fit together chronologically. Others argued there was nothing unusual about teenagers of different ages performing together, especially in local talent competitions. Like many parts of this story, the debate ultimately depended on speculation rather than confirmed evidence. Then, another rumor resurfaced. According to the same anonymous account, Beyoncé's cousin allegedly made comments during a private gathering, suggesting there was more to the family's history than the public knew. The story claimed those remarks hinted that Solange was actually Beyoncé's daughter rather than her sister. No recording of those alleged comments has ever surfaced, and there has never been independent confirmation that the conversation even took place. Even so, once social media connected that claim with the earlier rumors about Beyoncé's age, the theory gained another wave of attention. Supporters argued all of the stories seemed to point toward the same conclusion. Skeptics argued they were simply stacking one unverified rumor on top of another. Around the same time, people began pointing to examples from outside the Knowles family. Some noted that entertainers have occasionally adjusted their public ages during different stages of their careers. Stories involving artists like Nelly, and even comments about Michael Jackson's early image, have often been cited online as examples that age changes for marketing purposes aren't completely unheard of in entertainment. But even if that has happened with some celebrities, it doesn't automatically prove the rumors surrounding Beyoncé are true. That's an important distinction that often gets lost once internet theories start spreading. Then the conversation shifted back to Richard Lawson. Following his divorce from Tina Knowles, online speculation exploded over whether he might eventually speak publicly about the family. Some internet personalities claimed he had been treated poorly during the marriage and might reveal private information now that the relationship was over. Those claims remain speculative. Richard himself has not publicly confirmed the family secrets that many online creators continue to attribute to him. Then, Wendy Williams' name entered the discussion. For years, Wendy built her reputation by discussing celebrity gossip that many other television hosts avoided. Because of that history, some fans believe she knows details about Hollywood that haven't become public. After her recent health struggles and legal conservatorship, some internet users began claiming that if Wendy ever returned to regular broadcasting, she would finally confirm long-running rumors involving the Knowles family. At this point, that's simply another expectation created by social media, rather than something Wendy herself has publicly promised. That's really what makes this entire story so fascinating. Almost every major claim depends on anonymous sources. decades-old interviews, alleged documents, or internet speculation. Very little of it has been supported by verifiable evidence, yet the rumors continue to resurface every few years because people keep finding new details they believe fit the puzzle. Whether that's because there really are unanswered questions, or because social media has a habit of connecting unrelated events, is something viewers continue to debate. What isn't disputed is Beyoncé's impact on music. She remains one of the most successful artists of all time, with decades of commercial success, critical acclaim, and global influence. None of the online theories have changed that reality. But the mystery surrounding her early life continues to fuel endless discussions across the internet.